Okay, so what we're gonna do next, this would be after you've door knocked, prospected, found your client turning 65, you've done your warm up, you've done your fact finder, and now you're ready to present. So you also have the script in your notebook, so you can follow along with that and correlate with the video. So what we always say is, Tom, I appreciate you sharing all that information. Now I'm gonna tell you a little bit about Medicare. Medicare was designed in 1965. It wasn't meant to be fully comprehensive. It was more meant to be a helping hand where the government covers 80% and you're left on the hook for the 20%. And when they designed it into 4 parts. So as you'll see here, we have A, B, C, and D. So what I always go over first is C. And what you want to do when you're in the household is on your piece of paper is put your hands over the A, B, and D and let them know that Part C is opting out of Medicare and back into private insurance. Not a good thing, not a bad thing, you just want to be aware of how it works. So Part C would be what's called your Advantage plans. These plans range anywhere from 0 a month to 75. They're going to be what's known as your HMOs and your PPOs. Companies like Blue Cross Blue Shield, Humana, Aetna, United Healthcare, etc. The big thing to know about these is these are annual contracts. So every year from October through December, you can make a change. Actually, they have a new rule now, and we'll get into that later. But every year from October to December, you're locked in until that period, and then you can make a change. Not a good thing, not a bad thing. You just need to be aware of it. This also includes your prescription drug coverage. It includes eye exams and dental. The main thing to know about these plans is that you have to deal with networks, get private insurance approval, but in exchange for a low premium, of course you're going to give up a little bit. So of course, as we said here, we'll have some networks. Now I'm going to tell you about how original Medicare works. We're going to start with Part D. Part D obviously stands for drugs. This is your prescription drug coverage. These plans range anywhere from $14 to $85. And what these drug plans do is they rate your tiers, rate your drugs on tiers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I work for insurance companies, but I don't love them. And what they'll do every year, again, this is an annual contract, and every year between October and December you can make changes. But what they do sometimes is your drugs will be on tier 1, which is your generics and less costly, and they can sometimes switch them to tier 2, 3, 4. This is where I provide a lot of value. Tommy, or whatever their name is. I will come out every year personally, review your drugs, make changes as we see fit to make sure you get the most cost savings each year. This is very, very important. Any questions there? Now let me tell you about original Medicare Part A and Part B. Part A is your hospital. This is just 4 walls and a bed. Part B is your medical. That's anything that happens outside or inside the hospital. So first we'll go over Part A. This year is an annual, or not annual deductible, benefit period deductible of $13.16. So if you were to go to the hospital, you just had your red, white, and blue card, you would be responsible for a deductible of $13.60. Then we'll have certain days. Days 1 through 60 are at no cost because we've already met this deductible. Days 61 through 90. What is it again? What is it, 164?
No, it's
329?
329
a day.
350 and 700 is what I do.
Yeah, 329 a day. 91 through 150, it's twice the amount of days. That's going to be 658, twice the amount of coverage. After 150, it's 100% out of pocket. So of course, the doctor's job is to get you in, get you out. A lot of times, let's take a total knee replacement. You'd come in, pay your deductible. Your doctor's job usually is to get you out in this days 1 through 60. Okay? But let's say we need a little more care. So we come in, we stay, we pay our deductible. If we need a little more care, a little more rehab, we go to what's called a skilled nursing facility. This deductible here has bought you days 1 through 20 at no cost. Days 21 through 100 are $164 a day. What people don't know, and it's a common misconception, is this is where Medicare completely stops. And if you were to need more care, this is where your long-term care situation comes in. Medicare used to cover it through certain plans, but now, as a lot of seniors are approaching Medicare age, it's just not cost-effective enough. So it's my job to always inform you about that, but that's a whole nother subject, and I'll do it next time. So let's talk about Part B. Part B is your medical. Anything in the hospital, anything out. Okay? This is going to be $134 a month that comes out of your Social Security. After that, there is $186. This is an annual one-time deductible. Then after you've met your deductible, here's where the Medicare cost savings comes in between you and them. Medicare picks up 80%, you pick up 20%. Now the reason no one walks around with original Medicare, or for sure no one who comes and sits down with us, is because this 20% here is very dangerous. It's uncapped. There's no ceiling. So of course 20% of $100, yeah, we're walking out the door with a $20 bill. But 20% of $100,000 or even $500,000, now we're talking about financial crisis. So right here is why no one walks around with original Medicare. And then I kind of pause right there, and then let me tell you how supplements work. That's going to be a whole nother presentation. I'll pull out my Medicare book, and then we'll go over that.